Okay, so just to recap then, it's an fluency in terms of speed of reading and writing, for that matter, will take time. Oh, that reminds me. Shilpa, thank you for sending me the your exercises. You know, I completely forgot. I'm gonna get to it soon. I will grade it and I'll let you know. I probably can let you know by tonight.
Mhm.
Um, and Hannah, if you could do that. Oh, are you guys doing writing exercises in your level one right now, or something to that effect? No. Okay.
Not yet.
Hannah, how do you feel about writing?
No, writing, well, it's a practice. For me, it's more, I know it sounds bad. It's time.
Yeah, I get it. I know, I know. How about this? For both of you, now that you're starting level one, don't worry so much about it. If you get extra time, go ahead, do it. Um, the most important thing for you now is to keep up with level one, okay? These
Mhm.
final meetings with me are just to make sure that you guys are comfortable and that feel I am confident enough that you guys can do it, which I'm honestly I think I'm confident as it is. But if you get time for the writing, great. And Shilpa, I'll check your work and I'll send it to you. If you don't get time, it's okay. The most important thing, like, because I know you guys are busy just like I am, the most important thing is to focus on what's going on in level one, okay? Because now with level one, you guys are doing the ism, the fi'l, and harf. That's all like grammar stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so okay. And if you had no idea what I just said, don't worry. You just had one class so far, so you'll get there eventually,
Oh,
okay?
that was covered in first class actually.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
perfect, perfect.
that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
nice.
Good, good. That doesn't mean that it's solidified yet. That takes time, but good. I
Mhm.
mean, and also during these next two classes, or maybe three, if you guys have any questions regarding that stuff, you can just ask me because if you can get to that point, then you can already bypass a lot of the material we're covering. So I just want to go. Basically, we're going to go over the website just to make sure you guys get the basic rules. I'm actually confident that this is more of a formality. You should be fine with it. After that, we're gonna do Qisas an-Nabiyyin, okay, which is the stories of the prophets. I'll share with you my screen. If you've in fact, let me, if you all want to follow along, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the WhatsApp group now. I know you already have it. It's in the group description, but um, that way it's just there for you. Above is the stories, the prophets. Yeah. Okay, so it's in the WhatsApp group. You're welcome to follow along. I'm also going to share with you my screen. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go over this website just to make sure that it's all good to go. And then basically that's the agenda for today. We do these two things. If we can get through a decent amount of the Qisas and Nabiyin, we're golden. Okay. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this other thing, but I just want to make sure about a few things. I'm going to share my screen now. Ah, that's why. Okay, I see, I see. Can you guys all see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. All right,
Yep.
so we're going to speed through this. We don't need to go through lessons 1 through 6. You already know all of this stuff. Um, yeah, you know this one, Med. I want to quickly go over this just to make sure we understand. And I'm not going to teach it. I think you guys know. In fact, we went over this.
Mhm.
Wow, it's been like 2 weeks or so. How long has it been since we last met? Some time ago. So let's go in order. Henna, I'm gonna just point randomly. Let me know if you cannot see it, but tell me what this is.
Uh,
Good. Is it ah or ah?
I thought
Which one? I
the
can't tell from
second
that.
one. Sorry, the prolonged one.
Excellent. And how do we know?
Because there's an alif here.
Right. They call this. So I don't actually know if there is a term for this, but they call it the standing fatha. Okay, like for beginners, right? Standing fatha. Right. So Shilpa, can you tell me what this one is?
Who?
Good. Is it short or long?
Long.
Good. And then Hannah, tell me what This one is?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
She.
Good. So you guys got this. This is how quick I want it to be because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do need to make sure this one is clear cut. Shilpa, can you tell me what this one is?
Yeah.
No, the whole thing. There's a yeah in there, but I want the whole sound.
Oh, okay. T? No,
Almost.
not T.
Notice that would be the case if there's a kasra here. Now that there's a fatha on the top, it's a little bit different. Can you remember the rule?
So it's a small T, right? Like small T, like just a T.
No. This is elongated, but this is thay. Remember how when you have a fatha before the ya or the waw, the
Yeah.
rule is a bit different, right?
Yeah.
Remember, cool. Okay, Shilpa, try again with this one.
They.
That's
No, that's that's thou.
good. Though, but yeah, that's fine. I'm not as focused on the pronunciation, but good. Henna, try this one, please.
Say.
Good. Henna, also try this one.
Thou.
Good. Shilpa, try this one.
K.
That's a jim, actually.
Oh, sorry. J.
Good. Good. Okay. Shilpa, also try this one.
That one is K. Cow.
This
Because it's a vowel.
Kho. Good.
Cow.
Excellent. All right. So we're still a little bit shaky on it, but that's okay. You know, the best way to do this is not this way. The best way is to keep reading at different texts, okay? So I a little bit shaky on this, but that's okay. I don't think that's really a big deal. We know sukun and jazm. Okay, that's fine. Shadda we know. Taqweem shadda, that's fine. Shadda ma'a sukun. Shadda ma'a khatima. What's this? Okay, I want to try this real quick. Let's take turns. Henna, can you read this one for me?
Khaffat.
Sorry, once more.
Khaffat.
Good. Shilpa, can you read this one?
Kabbat.
Excellent. Also, Shilpa, can you read? We're gonna go a little harder. This one's a bit difficult, but try this one. Oh, also, there's a sukoon on the noon. Okay, there's a circle on the noon.
Mun. Munankab. Munafikin.
Almost. You had everything correct except for one part. Now, I know there's supposed to be a sukoon here, okay? There's a sukoon on top of the noon, therefore it's mun. Remember, the sukoon means lack of movement. Mun, and then can you tell me the rest here?
Faki. I don't know what is like before the last noon. I think
This is a yeah.
Is that like E? Like so it will become like key, right?
Yes, in fact, exactly. So if you took, this is basically, let me just show you in my Google Googled document. Where'd it go? me show you. So that, and I'm sure you would be able to recognize it if it were not in that form, like if it were isolated. So this, you know, what you see is kina. Okay, what's in there? This is basically what you're used to seeing, which is this. Okay, what you're used to seeing, which is this, right? How would you pronounce this that I highlighted?
Ki.
Exactly. So this is just going to take some time in terms of being able to put it together, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because you guys will see eventually, like there are certain things in Arabic, whether it's tajweed or grammar, it's just the only way to really get it is by doing a lot of practice. It's not so much the class material, you know, the teacher just kind of throws things at you. Then it's upon you to like take the time out from like outside of class to like just spend hours and hours studying, you know, and understanding and memorizing certain verb forms. So my point is, here it's just going to take time like practicing this. So one of the best ways to practice is to just read Quran, in my opinion, because this is all from the Quran, right? At least these examples, okay? So I want you to try, Shilpa, this again. Try the whole thing again, please.
Munfakin.
Almost good. Now what's the last thing?
Na.
Good. Excellent. So all together, munfakin.
Munfaki. Munfakina.
Good, good. Hannah, try. Okay, try this one.
فَعَّالٌ لِمَا يُرِيدُ.
Excellent. And Shilpa, last one we're gonna do try. It's a bit long, but I want you to try this one. And just ignore the colors.
Walla.
That's it there.
Wallati. Wallatina.
Okay, so remember that. Oh yeah, I don't know. Did I ever teach you guys sun and moon letters?
I mean, just the not the details of it, but I just heard the names of it, like sun and moon. I tried to Google it also, but I did not understand like why do they call, or like what is like the significance of it.
I see. Did they teach it to you in level 1 yet?
No.
Okay, that's something we do need to go over. All right, so let's actually cover that. Hannah, are you familiar with that term?
Not with the word, no.
Okay, let's do that. That's something I should. It's really easy actually. It's a very so people who have read the Quran, like, you know, since childhood, they understand that the concept, even though they might not have learned the actual formal term. Can you guys all see my Google document? All right, so there's this concept called moon letters and sun letters. Now, basically, what all this means is this. The moon letters are the ones that letters in which you pronounce the lam, okay, which is this. Okay, the sun letters are the letters in which you don't pronounce the lam, and there is a shadda, which is this. That didn't work. Okay, never mind. There is a shadda. Well, actually, I'll just give an example, okay? All right, like that. I mean, don't worry about the letter. The shadda on the top, you know, the W on top of the scene. There is a shadda on the letter. So what in the world does this mean? Let's give an example. A moon letter. So why do they call it moon letter? Here's why. The word moon in Arabic is called al-qamar, or the moon, technically. Al-qamar, okay? The moon is Al-Qamaru. Notice, I'm saying Al-Qamaru. I'm not saying Ak-Qamaru. I'm saying Al-Qamaru. Do you hear the lam?
Mhm.
Al-Qamaru. That's why it's called a moon letter, because all the letters that go according to this follow the word Al-Qamar. Qamar means moon. Okay? So I'll give another example. Okay. The water. Now you don't need to know these words. I'm just giving an example of it, okay? You do need to be able to recognize this though. Al-ma'u. Al-ma'u. Not am-ma'u. Al-ma'u. So notice I'm saying al-ma'u. Okay?
Mhm.
When you pronounce the lam, that's called a moon letter. Does that make sense, everyone so far?
Yep.
Shilpa, you okay, or are you a little confused?
Yep. I'm fine for now.
All right. So that's a moon letter. Now we go to sun letters. Why do they call it a sun letter? Because they name it after the sun. The sun is Ash-Shams. Ash-Shamsu. Ash-Shamsu. Notice I'm not saying El-Shamsu. I'm not saying El-Shamsu.
Mm.
Shamsu. Also notice why I'm putting a lot of emphasis on that sheen, right? That's why there's a shadda there. Okay? It's like this with all sun letters. All sun letters, it might not be written, okay? Especially the more you advance in Arabic grammar, the less likely it'll be written. They normally don't write it because it's understood. But for the beginning, and in the Quran, it's definitely written, right? Because they have to write it so people understand. That's the way to understand this is look at the shadda. In fact, I'll put it like this. The key to recognize a sun letter is look for a shadda.
So if there is a lam in a word and right after that lam, whatever the letter is there, if it has a shadda, then we can assume that it's a sun letter. Is that
Absolutely.
the recognition?
Yes, absolutely. That is 100% correct all the time. Okay. So that lam, so notice here, what is this letter, everyone, that I highlighted?
Lam.
Right. The lam's still there. Okay. The lam will still be there. Whether you look at Al-Qamar, the lam is still there. Whether you look at Ash-Shams, the lam is still there. The difference is we don't pronounce it in the sun letter. Ash-Shams, okay? This is an important lesson, especially when it comes to reading Quran, because in the Quran we can't say Al-Shams. We have to say Ash-Shams. Okay? So now I'll give you a, let me just see if I can find it here real quick. You can find this stuff easily on Google Images, and I'll give you an example. Let me share the screen for you. Do you all see this, my Google Images page here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see this thing that I opened up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't worry about the extra Arabic here, but it says Alam al-Shamsiyya, Alam al-Qamariyya. This Shamsiyya means sun. If you hear the word Shams, right? Shams, it means sun letter, okay? I don't want you to worry about the Arabic because it's, trust me, in level 1 you have plenty of Arabic to learn. But just understand the concept, okay? Alam al-Shamsiyya, Alam al-Qamariyya. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put this in here so that in case you decide to Google it later and you find it in, actually, one second. You know what? Maybe I should just Google it in English. Yes. Okay. Here we go. So if y'all can see, the sun and the moon letters. Al-huruf al-qamariyya. Qamariyya means relating to the moon. Qamar, from the word qamar, okay? If you have to know 2 words, I do recommend you know these words, okay? Shams is, and it's in the Google document. Shams is, Ash-Shamsu is the sun. Al-Qamar, S-U-N. Al-Qamaru is the moon, okay? The reason why is because the reason why they call it this rule is they name it after these 2 words, right? They didn't name it just randomly sun and moon letters. They named it based upon examples in which they follow. Al-Qamaru is, you notice how I'm saying Al with the lam, that's a moon letter. So they just said, you know what, let's just name the rule after the one of its examples, you know? So same with the Shams. Ash-Shams, they said, let's name the rule after one of the examples. That's why they put the sun letters and the moon letters, okay? So is it worth it to memorize this? No. I mean, you can. It would really benefit you, but I don't think it. I mean, it's a bit tedious. And my general philosophy is, if you can avoid memorizing, I would. Like in anything in life, it's better to have the concept. Understanding is better than memorizing, unless you have to. And trust me, in Arabic, there you will have to do some rote memorization for sure. But basically, if you want, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just copy this real quick and put it in the Google Doc. This picture is in the Google Doc. You're welcome to take a look at it, but you know the easiest way to recognize this is this. And I'm going to go ahead and share the Google document again with you. So if you all can see my Google document, this is the picture. Now, do I want you to memorize it? I mean, if you have a lot of time on your hands, feel free to, but you won't with level 1. So I'm not really interested in you guys memorizing these letters. People who, like Hannah, for example, I think you've been reciting Quran since you were little, I assume, right? You probably know this rule without realizing that this was a rule, you know? That happens a lot. You know, we don't know these things formally. But in any case, focus on these following tips that I give you. This is how you're going to be able to recognize them, okay? Now, again, once you get to, I mean, in level 1, I'm pretty sure this will give the shadda and everything. Eventually they won't, but especially in the Quran, this will always be there, okay? So in memorizing this, just focus on these rules. The key to in fact, I'll go ahead and bold this. The key to recognize a sun letter is to look for the shadda after the lam, okay? Right, so that's important. Now, is this so far so clear? It's a bit confusing, but is this clear so far?
Yeah, no, this is very helpful because whatever YouTube lessons I saw to like learn this one didn't help, but the recognition key definitely helps.
Excellent, good. Sounds like I'm doing my job well then. So, yes, memorization, trust me, you'll have plenty to memorize once you go through Fawakih's curriculum, because some things in Arabic, you know, you just have to memorize. My general philosophy is if you can avoid memorizing and if you can get the concept, it's better for you. So look for the shadda after the lam. But now, all right, so before we continue forward, this is important. I would like to go over some examples of this, okay? So let's go over some more. In fact, I'm not going to, no, for now, I'm going to put it in the same category so it's not confusing, okay? Now I have to think of an example. Okay, how about this? In fact, no, sorry, I have an idea. I'm going to do the following. I'm not going to put it in any of these categories. I'm going to put it afterwards. So you guys have to tell me. It's not too hard either way. You guys need to tell me which, first of all, tell me how to pronounce it based on the rules. And then, like which rule it follows. Now, before I do so, I forgot to mention one thing. Notice here, you see how I have a sukoon on the lam here? For both this example and the one below it? You won't not always see that. Now you will more likely see a shadda for the sun letters, okay? But you won't necessarily see the sukoon on the lam. Okay, I'm putting it here just so that you understand. Also, you probably won't necessarily see this fatha on the alif, okay? In the Quran, you probably will, but like you don't necessarily see these things in writing, okay? That's why I emphasize this rule. That's why I emphasize this rule. You will see a shadda for the lam letters, okay? So yeah, Hannah?
Fahad, can you just, the Arabic word, can you just put this in a bigger font, please?
Sure. Where are we talking about?
The bottom one, for example, the rows.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'll just enlarge all of it. All right. So how is this big enough or is bigger we need?
No, that's better.
Okay, sounds good. So there's not necessarily a lam here, I mean, there is a lam. There's not necessarily a sukoon here. There's not necessarily a sukoon here. Okay. I'm writing it for the sake of we understand, but there's not always the case. What there more likely will be is a shadda. That's where the key thing to look for is a shadda. If you see a shadda, you know it's a sun letter, which means you don't pronounce the lam. You just pronounce the letter afterward with emphasis, because that's what the shadda is, right? You guys remember a shadda is emphasis because it's 2 letters, remember?
Yep.
Okay, good. Good review. If you don't see the shadda, then it's a moon letter, which means you pronounce the lam. Okay? So now that we have the concept down, really the best way, it just takes a lot. I mean, it's easy to understand the concept. It's another story to grasp it and maintain it. It just takes examples. So let's try this one. I want Henna to tell me, based on what I've said, don't worry about what it means, but tell me how to pronounce it and whether it's a moon letter or a sun letter.
It's a moon letter.
Okay,
It's a
and why is that?
because there's a sukoon on the lam, so
Yes.
it's going to be pronounced.
And how would it be
It-
pronounced?
Okay, al wardu.
Excellent. Also, what is it lacking?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Remember this rule?
Oh, yeah. Well, it doesn't have a shad. No.
Exactly. It's lacking a shadda,
Oh,
no shadda. Therefore, it's not a sun letter. Therefore, it's a moon letter. Do you see my logic with this?
yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of looking for. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, so again, don't worry about the meaning. But China, how they say it is. I'm actually not going to say it. Shilpa, I want you to tell me, first of all, how or which one it falls under and how to pronounce it.
It is a sun letter because right after lam we see a shadda.
Good. Excellent. And now that's perfect. So now we know it's a sun letter. Now tell me how to pronounce it.
A sheenu.
This is a swad, by the way.
A seenu.
Excellent. Very good. Excellent. So you see, this is why I like rules. If you just follow the rules, you get to the answer. Let's do another one. Okay, yes. Hannah, tell me what this one is.
It's a moon letter, and there's no shadda but a sukoon.
Excellent. So how do we pronounce it?
Al alam. No, al alamu.
Yeah, perfect. Good. It means pain, by the way. So, okay. Shilpa, and I'm going to give a random one this time. Let's see here. Okay, found one. Yes. Please tell me which rule it is and pronounce this one for me.
It is a moon letter because it doesn't have a shadda after the lam, and
Good.
lam also has a sukoon.
Perfect.
And al jasanu.
Oh, sorry. So I know it looks
Oh,
confusing. This is
that's
actually
a
not a
fa.
dot underneath the ha. It's a kasra.
Al hisenu.
Go almost. You're missing one letter. This one.
Al hisa. It's not a lam. Al hisa. Hisanu.
Excellent. Very good. Perfect.
Al hisanu.
Excellent. Very, very good. Excellent. Good job. So you guys got the concept here. Hannah, I want you to tell me this one. This actually doesn't have a meaning, but it's fine. How do you pronounce this?
Allah Allamu. No,
Good. It just
Allamu.
means lamb, by the way. Perfect.
Yeah.
So now tell me, is this a sun letter or a moon letter?
It's a sun letter
Why?
because of the shadda, and which is over the lam.
Good. But I'm wondering though, this is kind of a trick question for you guys. If there's a shadda, why are we pronouncing the lam?
Because that's a separate word, a separate letter.
Good. There's two lambs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys see that? This is
Yep.
one lamb, and then this is another lamb. So this confuses people because in one situation we're looking for the shadda, but the shadda means we don't pronounce the lamb. But that we do in this case because there's an extra lamb in there. Okay, there's two lambs. So notice here in the moon and sun letters, lam, this one right here. I don't know if you guys can see where my cursor is. That one is considered a sun letter. Okay, that's the only confusing one. Okay, otherwise the rest is, you know, rather straightforward. So, all right, guys, does this concept make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, straightforward for now, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we will continue on with that. I'm going to see, that was an important rule for us to go over. Let me see if there's anything else that we need to cover real quick. Shilpa, read this one for me. This, yeah, this might is the print is a little bit different, but try reading this one for me.
So I'm thinking that after like wa, I'm going to like skip the al because it's a sun letter, right?
Good. And
So
how do
it
we know
will
it's a
be
sun letter?
because the sod has a shadda.
Good. By the way, before I forget, well, look at you see this alif with this squiggly thing on top?
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't even know how to type that, so I'm just going to let you guys know verbally. Ignore this, okay? This thing, it has a different meaning that we don't need to go into. You will see it a lot. Just ignore it, okay? It really, pronunciation purposes, it doesn't have any effect, okay? So
Okay.
ignore it, and you good. So you know that you, and also ignore the color coding. You just connect it together because of the shadda. So you know it's a sun letter. Good. So now that you know that, let's try pronouncing the whole word together.
Vasubu.
Almost good. Then there's one last letter.
That's I was thinking that's a ho.
It is. It's
Like
a ha.
ho with a
but
kasra.
good.
He.
Good. Now all together.
So vasubahi.
Excellent. Good.
Vasubahi.
Yes, that's good. Okay. I know Henna is pretty comfortable with this stuff. I want to try one more with Shilpa. All right, we're gonna try a harder one. Okay. I want you to. This is two words. Actually, no, it's two words. Maybe three words. Try this together, and I want to bring both of your attentions to this thing. Okay. Now, this is one way to write it. There's another way. In fact, I'll just show you. This is important for the sake of understanding how things are written differently, okay? So you can write what they said like okay, لحب الخير. Okay, so this is one way to show it. This is a lam. This lam is connecting with the kha. This always confuses students, okay? This lam is connecting with the kha. It's actually a lam, but the way that I, and I don't know how else to really show it, the way that it can also be written is this way. Now, you're probably more familiar with this way. You see the lam here, followed by the kha, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the same thing as this one, but it's just the lam is on top of the kha, okay? Yes, it should be on the side. It's not that it should be. It's just a different way of writing it, okay? I just want
Okay.
you guys to be able to recognize it, okay? Because it does confuse students. They're like, what is this thing? Is that like an extension of the kha? No, it's a different letter. It's a lam, okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
now notice that I want you to pay special attention here to the sun and moon letters in this example. So go ahead, please.
لحب
Good.
الخير.
Excellent. Now, can you do me a favor and combine both words together? You said لحب الخير. Now combine both together.
لحب الخير.
Excellent. Very good. ممتاز جدا. That means very good. Excellent. Well, I'm glad to see that you guys definitely have this down. The fluency will come with time. Okay. Now, okay, so that's good. I realize there might be a few things, a few little polishing up things that I think would be really helpful for you guys to know. We've already covered through all this. We covered through that, we covered that. Yeah, we covered Sukun. Yeah, we covered that. Ashadda, we covered. What's Taqweem Ashadda? Shilpa, can you give me this one?
Kaib.
Almost.
Kayab.
This is not a ya though. It's a different letter in the middle.
Noon?
Nope. This is a oh.
No. Do. It's a do. I mean, it looks
It's
like
a
a
dal.
noon, but
Dal. I see what you're
it's
saying.
a do.
Yeah.
Kadab.
Excellent. Good. Yeah. Good. Okay. So it's you got it perfect. Good. It's gonna take a lot of practice to gain the like where where it becomes second nature. That's just gonna take practice. But as long as you can recognize your mistakes, that's what matters. Hannah, can you give me this one here?
Just a second. That's
Good. And why are we extending this one?
because of the ya and alif as a prolongation.
Good. Good. The standing fatha, for example.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry again, the standing fatha.
If you say alif, that's fine too. Don't worry about the labels as much. Recognizing is what's important. Okay, so let's try. This is kind of important, so I do want to try another one. Okay, Shilpa, try this one, please.
Tawwala. Tawwala.
Once more.
Tawwala.
Almost good. The wa, that's correct. Now the last letter is not a lam, it's a different letter.
Oh, sorry. Noon. Tawwana.
No, it's not a noon. Noon will be on the top. The dot's on the bottom.
Ba.
Good. So put together.
Tawwaba.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Good.
Tawwaba.
Good. Okay, perfect. Hannah, let's do one more. Okay. I want you to just read this for me, please.
Okay. Yusalluna alan nabiyyi.
Good. Excellent. Very good. We're good. I think we're just. I feel very comfortable with that. Let's see what this is. Shadda, we just did this really. Yeah. No need for this. Okay. We'll quickly go over this. Now, the whole concept of this is two shaddas coming together. It's really not difficult. In fact, you guys already know the rule. It's let's just practice it. So instead of me singing, I want you all to tell me what it is. Shilpa, try this one, please. And also remember what I said about this. Just ignore this squiggly thing.
Okay. Al-Muddatiru.
Almost. What is this letter again? This one?
Ta.
It's a tha, almost.
Ta.
So if it's two dots, it's ta. Let me show you real quick.
Yeah, like, oh. Yeah, I got it. I think I just pronounced it wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, sounds good. So Can you say it again?
Al-Muddatiru.
Good. Okay. Now I want to emphasize one thing. This is more important for reading, especially Quran. Notice that there's two shaddas together. Okay. Now, can someone remind me what a shadda means? For practical purposes.
Double letter.
Good. Which means emphasis, right?
Uh-huh.
So, for example, I'll do this one as an example. Okay. Yadhakkaru. Notice, I don't say. How would you say it? I don't say yadhakaru. Yadhakaru. I say, notice where I'm emphasizing it. Like where you don't have to extend it the amount that I'm extending it, but I'm doing it for the sake of emphasis. Yadhakaru. Do you see how on the dal and the kaf I'm putting a lot more emphasis? Why is that? Why am I putting more emphasis on the dal and the kaf?
Because there are shaddas on both.
Precisely. Very good. Exactly. Because of the shadda, right? So here, you had said can you pronounce this again with that in mind? Shilpa?
Al-Muddathiru.
Very good. Al-Muddathiru. I mean, they don't emphasize it that much, but you get the idea. Al-Muddathiru. If you say Al-Mudathiru, that's not correct. You have to put emphasis. Al-Muddathiru. Okay? That is the whole concept of this lesson, which I don't want to spend a lot of time on, but I do think it's important just for understanding how to read things, okay? By the way, these are all in the Quran. Now, Henna, can you give me this one?
Al-Mudhammilu.
Good. Wait, oh, sorry, what's this letter here?
No.
You're right, it is a za. I heard of that.
Yeah.
Al-Muzammilu.
Okay,
So,
so
I would like to also point this out. A lot of these things I just realized as I'm teaching. This is the difficult part about reading the two different scripts for students. Like when they toggle back and forth, it's hard for students, but it just takes some experience. This here, you guys see my Google document?
Yep.
This here, this is that letter. That za is this letter. Okay. So why did they curve it like that? I mean, it's just script. Okay, it's writing. Also, there's a whole. I'm sure you guys have heard of the art of calligraphy. You know, that's great. You know, but like for our purposes, I just want you to be able to recognize it, right? It's a za. So you don't need to know more than that. I just need you to be able to recognize that that's a za, so that when you see it, you're like, okay, let's not get confused. This is just another way that they write it. You know? Okay. Otherwise, the consonant thing is clear. Now I want. Okay. This is a difficult one. Shilpa, I want you to try, but it is a bit difficult. Now, please be aware that this ya that looks like that's yellow colored has a sukoon on it, okay?
Okay. Al-Leen.
Almost. Don't forget the second shadda, or yeah, the second shadda on the first ya.
Al-Liyin. Al-Liyin.
Good. Now notice that the ayn has a kasra, not a fatha, right? Not ali,
Yeah.
it's illi.
Oh, sorry, the first one. Yeah. Illiyin.
Excellent. Very good. And what about the noon at the end?
Illiyin, right? It just has the standing fatha, right?
It's
So
not a
we just
standing
say-
fatha, it's a normal fatha.
It's yeah, the normal fatha. So we just say na, right?
Yeah. So put it all together.
Illiyina.
Perfect. So notice that the difference between a normal fatha and a standing fatha is, if you look at my hand, standing fatha is straight, normal fatha is slanted. Okay, standing fatha, it looks like a small alif. That's the indication that it's elongated, right? Because normally an alif, when you add it, it makes it longer, right? Okay, so all right. Are we clear so far?
Yeah. Yep.
I would like Kenneth to give me the last one, which is this. 1 second. Trying to move this so that I can see. I guess that's not going to happen. That's not what I want to do. Hannah, are you able to see this one?
Yeah.
Okay, please give me this one.
Min sharrin naffathati.
Excellent, very good. Shilpa, can you tell me what letter this is?
Oh, sorry, which one?
This last one in the example that Hannah just did?
Ta. It's
Good.
a ta.
Yeah, why are the dots on top of each other? I thought the dots should be on the side, side to side.
I would just assume it's the style. I don't know.
Excellent, good. Yeah, it's a trick question. Perfect, yeah. I guess it's another style thing. It's actually not common, but it does happen. So remember, it's not about the positioning of the dots, it's about the number of dots.
Yeah.
2 dots is that. It could be together, on top of each other. I've never seen it any other way, I guess, but you know, you get the idea. And 3 dots, usually in the form of a triangle, means tha, right? So again, it's about the 3 dots. All right, are we pretty clear here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so now let's go through. Okay. I didn't think this lesson would take so long, but I would like to, we're almost done. I'd like to go over one more thing now. This is not as important for like level 1, but I do think it's helpful for reading Quran, right? Because you guys want to read Quran at the end of the day, right? And understand it. It's actually a really simple concept, okay? I want you to show yourself something. What do we call this letter?
Alif.
And good. What's on top of it?
It's sort of fatah-like.
Yeah, it's called a med. Did I ever introduce this to you guys? Let me
Mm,
introduce it now. In the Google document. If you have, I need to think of an easy letter. Actually, there is no. That squiggly line on top of the alif is called a med. Med, okay? That what does med means? Med means elongation. Okay? Lengthening. Now, there's a very long, complicated science about how much you're supposed to lengthen. Don't worry about that. Just know in this case it means lengthening. So now when you see a shadda after it, it's actually longer. Okay, so this is, I'll go ahead and help you guys out with this one. Okay, this is hajjaka. It's actually called 6 harakat. So watch my hands real quick. Hajjaka. See, I counted to 6, and that was when I stopped at the jim. So have you guys noticed in Surah Al-Fatiha at the end they say صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم this one right here, by the way, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. There's no coincidence that they make it that long, you know? There's a reason, and this is because you have this alif with the mad. Immediately followed after it is any letter, but in this case a lam, with a shadda, okay? Now, do you need to know the name of this rule? No. I just want you to recognize it, okay? Now, I mean, for grammar, you're not, they're not going to ask you to like pronounce it like that, but at least I don't think so. But again, I know that, I'm not only just looking at level 1. I know that you guys want to be able to read Quran as properly as possible, right? So this is one of those like simple rules that I can teach you. This alif with the med followed by any letter, doesn't have to be a lam, it can be a jim or a ba, with a shadda on top. Okay, so the key 2 things are the med and the shadda. Okay, right next to each other. Then it's really long. It's like, if you count to 6, okay, that's how long it is. Okay, that's why they say وَلَضَّالِّينَ. They're not doing it just for the sake of it. They're doing it because that's the rule. Okay, so does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, now that Shilpa, are you okay with this so far?
Yeah, I just have a question on the same word, volatile, in this one. So after like la, there is a alif, and then there is a lam. Then there is a sod with a shadda, right?
That's a dad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, my bad. Okay, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I missed that dot. So I was
Okay.
like, why are we not saying dot? Thank you.
Right, right. No worries. Okay. Hannah, just give me this one, please.
The button.
Good. Shilpa, give me this one, please.
Oh. So, Sawafi.
Fa, fa.
Sawafa.
Excellent. Sawafa. I think you guys got the idea.
I have a question, like right on this
Yeah.
page, please.
Yeah. Huh?
So the word towards the all the way to the left on the same line.
Okay.
You see on the noon,
Mm-hmm.
we have a shadda, and then we have the dhamma, and then we have that the other letter, right?
Yeah.
Is that just like the dhamma thing? Instead of like two dhammas, they just put that thing.
Yes. In fact, that's a good point. They normally don't put two dhammas back to back. They normally put it like this. Okay. Why? I don't know. But they put a dhamma, and then like if you think about it, that other one's like a reverse dhamma. Okay, like an upside down dhamma. Okay. That's just how it is. That's actually the more common way of putting dhammatain. They don't. It's weird because for fathatain they put two fathas, for kasratain they put two kasras, but for dhammatain they put a dhamma and a backwards dhamma. I don't know why. I just know that that's the case. So yes, that's actually the more common convention, and I would recommend that you focus on that one. This is what you're more likely to see. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Yep, no problem. Okay, Hannah, any questions?
No.
Cool. All right, should be hopefully easy peasy for now. Last lesson, which I don't know if this is a lesson actually. No, it's not. We're not going to worry about this. This is just examples. Okay, congratulations. We finished everything we needed to here. So, what I'm going to do is this. We're going to start Qisas an-Nabiyyin, and we're going to see how it goes, okay? If it's going well, great. If it's not going, if it's not as conducive as we want, one other option is to go through the first one, maybe two, maybe three lessons of level one, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's about helping you. And I also got approval for this. Like they're fine with me doing, preferably because it's going to be in first, but time is somewhat limited. So we're gonna try this out, and if it works and if it's really helpful, great. I mean, I'm leaving it up to you guys. If you prefer that we, start like if you have questions on level one, or you go, especially like for next class, for example, or for Thursday's class, I think actually it would be a good idea to have three classes. If you guys are able to, like today, tomorrow, and Thursday. If you have any questions on level one, then I can start with that. So whatever is beneficial, but I do think it's worth it to try. So why don't we go ahead? If you have the text itself open, we can go to this page. There's, I don't know if, how do I, so I shared my screen with you. Oh, here's how. Okay, found it. All right.
Can I just clarify? You mean Thursday and not Wednesday?
Yeah, because I think Shilpa said you have class, right, Shilpa?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's fine because
Yeah.
that works also fine because I'm on call. So that's better.
You're on call Thursday or Wednesday?
Thursday, so that may be better for me.
Oh, it's better for you if you're on call, you mean?
Yes, because it's going to be past midnight anyway, so I'm
Okay,
going to be up anyway.
I see. I see. Alrighty. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Well, we're in luck because I'm not working this Thursday, so it's actually a good thing for me as well. So the way this text works, this text is actually it's a children's book, believe it or not. It's Qisas an-Nabiyyin lil Atfal, for children. But the good point about this is it's a good way to teach people Arabic. It's actually designed for that reason. So uh, sometimes they don't give all the harakat, and so I can definitely help with that. And what we'll do is, for the remainder of the time, I don't know how long you guys have. I can go for another hour if you guys are comfortable with it. What do you guys think? Hannah's probably like, no.
Yeah.
How long can you guys go for? Like, honestly.
Half an hour is fine.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then next time we'll just start straight with this, or what probably we'll do is we'll start with this, do a little bit of it, and then we'll start level 1 material, and just go through some stuff. Okay. I actually think you guys. Oh, and by the way, as far as the writing, I don't want to spend any time during class for that. Please, Shilpa, I'll respond to your thing. I just keep forgetting to about it. Henna, if you can, I know it's probably a little busy, but if you can, whenever you get a chance, just try some writing. So
Yeah.
again, that being said, it's the more bigger priority is your level 1. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind. So if you have to, stay on top of one thing, it's definitely the level 1 material with the other teacher. So okay, are you guys ready? So why don't we go ahead and start? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're starting on page 9. Okay.
Page 8 or page 9?
Don't worry about page 8. We're starting with actually this is a continuation of something else. We're starting on this page.
Oh, okay.
This is actually the start. I think it's the first story. It's a story. I think it's the first. It's the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam breaking the idols. Okay, just to give you some context. Okay, so if we had weeks on end, we will go through the details of this text, because the words are really useful to know. We don't have that kind of time. So what's best is we're not going to focus as much on the meaning. However, I'll give it to you in the Word document. Okay, so if you want to, this is where it's good to start learning the vocab. Even though you don't have all the rules to understand when you see a verb, when you see an ism or a noun, and when you see a harf or a neither a verb nor a noun. It's not preposition is not the best translation. So, but just generally speaking, just kind of pick things up, okay? But for our purposes, most importantly, I want you to just practice reading, okay, and understanding, and not really writing, just reading, really, okay? So, for the first part, I am going to. So we have 20 minutes. That should be enough time to get started. Guys, give me some feedback. Has today's lesson been useful, or was it all really, really a review for you? Like the stuff we covered so far?
I think it has been a good review, also good revision.
Okay, sounds good. Shilpa, what do you think?
I think it was very helpful, especially like the mud rule and the sun and moon letters, like to differentiate and like start putting that into the reading.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Well, I'm glad to hear it was good. So now we're going to get to this stuff that we're about to do is probably, harder because it's an actual text. So I'm going to put here so that, when you guys look at this later, you know where to look. Stories of the Prophets, PDF. Okay, so the first text says, I don't want to do it like that. Let's try like this. There we go. So I'm only giving this because the text does not have it. I want Henna to read this sentence for me. Not the English, of course, the Arabic, please. I'm just typing the English.
Man kasaral. No, can you just make the script, the font bigger, please?
Sure. Yeah, no worries. Oh, wait a second. It's all still at the. Oh, that's why it's still at 30. Okay, I thought I made it bigger. How is this?
Yeah, that's better.
Cool.
Man kasaral asnaha.
Good. Asnama. Ma.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now,
asnam.
Henna, notice one thing. This is a very, very common mistake among students, so don't feel bad. I want to note something that it's actually very natural for students, especially when they're studying tajweed, to do. You said man kasara. You're saying it as if there is a fatha right
Oh, yeah.
there, or an alif.
Yeah.
It's man kasara. Kasara. Okay.
Um,
Shilpa, also pay attention to this, because this is something that a lot of students. So, for example, when I'm just reading this, and when I'm like, I don't have to think about it now, but like, back when I was sitting, I had to think about it a lot. It's like learning a whole different language. Men kasara al asnam. It's natural to say kasara. It's natural to, right? But technically, it's incorrect. It's kasara because there's no elongation anywhere, right? So it's okay. That's very normal. Just something to keep in mind. So, Shilpa, I want you to tell me, is this a sun or moon letter?
I think it's a moon letter because I don't see a shadda.
Perfect. Excellent. Good. So I made this a little tricky for on purpose. Notice I didn't put a sukun on the lam. This is actually where it's more, they normally don't, okay, put a sukun on the lam. So you got to go to that other rule, which is look for a shadda. So remember, we're always looking at the letter right after the lam, which in this case is an alif. Do you see a shadda? No, we don't see a shadda. So it's a moon letter. So we know it's al-asnam. We don't say asnam. It's even hard to say, like it doesn't make any sense. So we know it's a moon letter. Okay, so okay, so that's that. Now, again, don't worry about the meaning as much. I just want you to understand what the text, or to be able to read it. Okay, now Shilpa, the next example is for you. As I'm typing the English out, please read for me what I just wrote.
Babi.
Almost. So this is actually, I know it's hard to see. This is not a ba. Think about it like this. This is, so what do you see on top of, at the top?
I forgot what it's called, but
It's a Hamza.
Hamza, yeah.
Right. So remember, this is actually really important. And I think, Hannah, this will benefit you as well. So there's 4 ways to write Hamza, okay? See that? There are 4 ways to write Hamza. What do you guys see as the common thing between all 4 of these?
The symbol looks the same.
Good. The symbol at the top of these letters and the one that's by itself at this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is called a Hamza. This is this. Now I know Hamza is also a name. Okay, I get that. Technically, Hamza with the ha is the letter. Hamza with that special ha that hurts your throat, that's the name. Okay, like the name of a person. I mean, I'm sure you guys have met someone who's named Hamza. That's Hamza, but Hamza is the letter. Anyway, there are 4 ways to write it. Okay. Now, each has their name. You don't need to worry about it. Just be able to recognize it. Okay. The common thing about them is they all have this Hamza. This is by itself, but normally it's on top. It's either on top of a ya, like this one, or it's on top of a wow, like this one, or it's on top of an alif, like this one. Okay. Guess what? They're all pronounced the same. They're all pronounced the same. Okay. And I'll put that down here. They are all pronounced. Just because you guys know what this letter means, I'll put it like this. They're all pronounced like that letter, eh. Okay. Now, then why do they do it? Why have it on different letters? It's because once you guys get to the point where you don't need to have, these harakats where you can read without them, This tells you that that there's a fatha. This tells you that it's an u sound, there's a dhamma. This tells you that there's an e sound, that there's a kasra. And this tells you that it's none of those. Do you need to know that? Absolutely not. I'm just trying to give you the context as to why. I mean, like, it makes sense. Like, you would want a student asks, why would you have a difference if they all are pronounced the same, right? Why is there a difference? This is why. Because I don't know if you guys know the history. I like to go on this. This is a very fascinating tangent that just bear with me for a quick minute. As you know, Arabic was not written like this, okay? I'll give you an easy example. Okay, the word masjid. You guys know that Arabic was not originally found like this, right? Arabic originally was like this, right? Without any of the harakat. That makes sense? This is, and actually, technically, originally, it was actually written like this, without the dots. Okay, the dots and the harakat were a later invention to help non-Arabs to be able to pronounce well. You know, because the world, Islam was expanding, and they just lots of non-Arabs. Okay, the point is that this is why this is the case. Just know for our fact that the hamza is pronounced the same. So if you look here, Shilpa, here, this is a hamza, right? So it's still the a, e, u sound. It's still that. And now you know there's a kasra, so now you know it has to be e. Does that make sense?
Oh, so even if there's a kasra, it doesn't have to be a e sound. Is that what you mean?
Because of the hamza, we know it's an a, e, u sound. That a sound, okay? Like the hamza sound, in other words. You know what I mean? It's a hamza sound. But because of the kasra, then we know that, okay, it's e, as opposed to u or a. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, did I lose you? Or does that make sense?
It makes sense, I think.
Okay. Hannah, is this clear for you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Shilpa, can you read this for me? Like the whole thing?
Babi.
Remember, this is not a ba.
Oh, badi.
It's not a dal. Remember the hamza?
Yeah, but the hamza is on dal, right? So
No.
so we don't.
It's actually, so remember, dal does not connect on this side, remember?
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, the hamza, it never ever comes on, it never has the sound of another letter. It never has the sound of another letter, okay? Sure, it can be written on another letter, but think about this. Is this, so, okay, by the way, guys, let me put it like this, okay? This is a, this is u, this is e. Do I say yi for this? No, I say e. It's on a ya, but it doesn't mean we pronounce the hamza. I'm sorry, it doesn't mean we pronounce the ya, we pronounce the hamza. We don't say yi, even though it's on a ya. Even though it's on a ya, we say e, because it's a hamza at the end of the day. Remember, what we're looking for is that, I can't highlight it like this, but it's that little thing on the top, okay, the hamza. Similarly, this here, it's not wu. Even though it's on a waw, it's not wu, it's u, because of the hamza at the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is why there's a difference between this, which is wu, versus this, which is u. Okay, and this, which is, actually, let's do like this, which is yi, versus e, which is e. Okay, is this making sense, Shilpa?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
Thank you.
Can you, yeah, no worries. Can you read the rest of this for me?
Also.
Yeah, from the beginning, please.
Oh.
So this whole thing.
Maybe it'll help if you enlarge it to 50.
Sure, I can do that. Yeah, I realize it probably doesn't, it probably comes across smaller on your screen, actually. Okay, hopefully that helps.
Oh, yes, I still don't get like the letter after ba, like how to say that one.
E, E. So
So
remember,
it's like bai,
yes, ba, E, U.
ba, I, u.
Excellent, good. Ba, E, ul, and then can you say the rest?
Ba, I, u. Also,
Asnam.
asnam.
Good. Excellent. Good. All right. So it's going to take some practice. This is what I meant. This text is hard. Okay. Undoubtedly, this text is harder, but it's going to take some practice. So we got 10 more minutes. I definitely want to go through some more. This time, oops. Okay. I want you guys. Okay. So Henna, is this text, is it too small?
I'll just look at my PDF at my website.
Perfect. Okay. Can you read the first actual line of text?
Okay. قبل أيام كثيرة جدا
You missed one thing on the tamar buta after. So this word right here, kathira.
just a second.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. كثيرة.
Kathiratin.
Yeah, كثيرة.
And this last word?
كثيرة جدا جدا.
Jiddan.
Oh yeah.
Right, because of the tanween right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's saying before many days, many days, basically, a lot of days. That's kind of what it's saying. Hannah, also do for me the next sentence, please.
Okay. كان في قرية رجل مشهور جدا.
Good, excellent. By the way, why did you say, and you're correct, but I want to know, why did you say kana with an fatha here?
Sorry, where did I say?
The first word of that sentence.
Because, you mean why I elongated the kaf?
Why? Well, why can't it be kuna or kina?
Well, because then it's an alif.
Good.
After the
But
kaf. So,
yeah, perfect. This is kind of the point I want to make. There, you don't have to put a fatha on top of the kaf. You see how there's no fatha there?
Mm-hmm.
It's understood because you can't say it any other way, right? You can't say ku or ki here. You just say ka, right? This is your first plunge into reading Arabic without the harakat. It's like this is how it builds, you know, like it's all based on rules that, you know, they're like implied for like Arab speakers. You know what I mean? You can't have anything else except a fatha. Shilpa, does this make sense or did I lose you here?
No, it makes sense. I wanted to know like what's the best way to practice this?
Just read. That's really the best way. So the thing is,
No, but
reading is
how do I read like when you are not there? Then
Yeah.
how do I know that I'm doing it right or wrong?
That's a good point, actually.
Like
I
for
think
example,
that
in the website, like it tells me, right? Like I can say it by myself, and then if I click it, like it will tell me, like by
Yeah.
pronouncing it. Is there a way or no?
Apparently it said when I think on this website when there's some audio feature, but it was just still loading, so I'm not sure if this works. And then in level 1, in the last in one of the videos, I think one of the teachers mentioned a sheikh who is best to listen to for recitation or the correct pronunciation. I think it was Sheikh Husri or something. So maybe that,
Sure,
and maybe this is also on YouTube. Maybe the story.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean
it's a
that's
children's video, a children's story. So maybe if we type in the title of the book, maybe it will come up.
Okay.
That's one way to do it
Thank you.
for sure. You can do that. You can YouTube and Google it and find it. Another option that I just thought of is if you are focused on particular parts of it that you're struggling with or you just want to know it, you can send me a voice message saying like, here's this part, and you read it to me, and then I can correct it, being like, okay, here's where, this certain thing. So you have two options that we could think of. What Hannah suggested, which is also really good. If I can, I'll try to find an example of the reading for you. The only problem is like, you have to, it's a long thing and you have to go through each and every single little thing. But if you want to,
Yeah.
that's fine. And the other example is you can send me a voice message, and I can, when I get a chance, I can just listen to it real quick along with getting the writing thing to you back, and then I can just correct it like that. So I think that should be just fine. And yeah, I think that's that then.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, all right. So here's the plan then for Monday and very possibly Thursday.
Mhm.
We've gotten through everything that we need to, and I'm not really that concerned about the writing. I think that, see, the benefit of the writing is that it's all self-paced. You can, I mean, I checked Sadiqa's work, and she was really perfect at it. I'm gonna check Shilpa's work soon, but I really can't imagine anything, any real issues with that because it's all self-paced. You will need to know how to write. I think Hannah, you feel kind of comfortable with writing, or do you have much experience with that?
I have some experience, but not much. I mean, I just need to do it.
Okay, sounds good. I think that, so let me put it in the Google Doc. The plan is going to be that for Monday and Tuesday we'll basically do a little bit more of the Qisas and Nabiyin. However, this stuff, it's dense, especially at this level. It's quite tedious. So I do want to go through whatever you guys are learning in level one. I mean, if you don't have any questions, that's great. But usually, as soon as you have questions, we can go through it. This next session and very possibly the Thursday session will be the last sessions that we have, because then you guys are off to with your level one teachers, and um I don't know where I'm going to be put really. So we'll see at that point. Um, but again, actually, I'm really happy because um, unfortunately, we don't have Sadiqa with us anymore, but I hope everything goes well with her. But um, I am confident that you two are now at a really good stage to start level one. So, because you've gotten all the basics down. The speed, of course, needs improvement, but I mean, that's going to need improvement like all our lives, really. So it just takes a lot of practice. So that's the general plan for Monday, tomorrow. Oh, okay. Before we leave, what time should we agree to a time? Do you all still want to do 7:30 p.m. Eastern time? Or I mean, I can be a bit flexible on the time if you want.
Would 7 work? I know it's half an hour, but to me,
Yeah,
it
I'm
would.
thinking that should be fine. I have so you know what we can do is, how does would you like to do 6:30 p.m.?
If it works for both of you, that would be superb. If it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't.
I'm flexible. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm flexible. So it like Hannah, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Yes, if you can, if that works for you, then 6:30 would be great.
Okay. How about, so would 6 p.m. be even better?
Yes, it can
Okay.
be.
I mean, that's fine because this is our last week anyway, and I don't mind moving it around. I have a class that I cannot move but it ends at 6 p.m. So,
No,
I
why don't
mean,
you then make it 6:30 so that you also get a break
oh no, it's
between?
fine. It's okay.
I
Don't worry
mean,
about it. I can eat before, and it's not a big deal. Actually, believe it or not, sorry.
6:15 we can negotiate now.
Okay, that's fine. I was thinking though. If you guys want, I don't know, it might be possible, but how do you guys feel about the class? My class starts at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so I could technically do, I don't know, like 2 to 3:30. Sorry, wait. Yeah, that's right. 2 to 3:30 Eastern time. That's like before the class. If it's easier on Henna and Shelpa, if you're open for it. I mean, I have to confirm with you, but it's, as of right now, it might be possible.
Oh no, have got another class, which I hopefully I'll survive.
Okay, so that time won't work for you then.
My schedule is flexible.
Okay, but Hannah, that 2 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern time might not work for you?
No.
Okay. So in other words, before 4 p.m. won't work for you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I have class, well, as it turns out, specifically on Mondays, I have class from
Yeah.
4 to 6. So I think honestly, let's just meet at 6:15 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
That should
Yeah.
be just fine. And then we'll go for another hour and a half. I think that's enough. And then our brains will probably just be dead at that point. And so, okay, let's do that. So tomorrow, inshallah, no problem. And I hope this works for you as well, Shilpa. Let's
it does.
do excellent, cool. So tomorrow, inshallah, I'll try to log on before then just to make sure there's no technical issues. So we start on time. We'll start at 6:15, inshallah. We'll go an hour and a half, 7:45. Our goal is to get through a little bit more of this text. If we we should have some time. If we have questions about the writing, we can go through it. And I'm also just gonna do level 1 material. So if you have questions about level 1 that you're going over with your teachers, bring them to me, okay? Because this is great, but even more important, like this text is important, but even more important, I think, is the level 1 material that you're studying, because that's the basics of everything.
If we can do the cases once again, that will be super helpful for me from level 1.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see what you mean.
I can,
So,
if you want, I can send you the, like, where it is. I don't know, like.
Yeah, if you could actually, that way I know. See, I can't teach you at all right now because I mean, there would be no way I could, because you need a lot of background information to get there. But yeah, if you could send me that way I know how to approach it, I'd appreciate it. Now, there's not a lot of time until tomorrow. So I would say your homework really is, if you can get to the writing, that's great. Otherwise, just relax, focus on your level 1 material that I'm sure they give you homework for. Bring questions. If you can, this reading here, try to read a little bit on your own, and you can send me a voice message or you can message something on YouTube. And if you get time, I'll get back to you, Shilpa, about the writing thing. But just, Hannah, if you can, just give me some the writing stuff, and we'll go from there. Just, nothing serious. Just, take your time. And I mean, there's not much time from now until tomorrow. So I would say the biggest thing is try to do this reading if you can, and a few lines, please, and prepare level 1 and have any questions you have, and we'll kind of go through there. Alrighty. Well, I don't want to take more of your time. It's also very late for Hannah at this time. So, any questions before we part ways and we meet tomorrow?
No,
Nope.
thank
Okay.
you.
Sounds good. Well, as you know, you know how to contact me. I'm on WhatsApp and email. Just message me if you have any questions, and inshallah, I will see you guys all tomorrow at 6:15 p.m. Okay?
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. You're welcome. All right. Take care, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam.